Well, it looks like we are back for yet another spooky season slash Vlogtober. It has been a while. Well, I guess a year. I mean, we did Vlogmas, right? So it hasn't been a full year, but it has been a while since I've sat down and done a true vlog style type video outside of like yarn crawls and things like that. So in a way, it's good to be back. I know 100% that I'm going to be rusty, so please bear with me. This Vlogtober, we are once again taking an adventure down at Tarot Lane. I do feel like I need to preface the tarot thing yet again by being like, no, I don't believe they can predict the future. No, I don't believe they have some weird insight into your brain or anything like that. I use them for guided journaling and to help me get through my stressful days. So today, the 1st of October, we had the 6 of Wands. And now this card is a reminder to celebrate your achievements and embrace your spotlight. So basically, it's a sign that your efforts are being recognized, whether it's at work, on a personal project, or even a relationship. This is your time / my time to shine. So basically, don't shy away from recognition, own it. And victory is sweet when shared, but it will take a team to get you there. So don't, be a little too in love with yourself during this process. I do think that this is relevant to my life right now, just because work is, as always, very, very busy, but it does seem like I am starting to reap the rewards of a lot of my hard efforts, and they're being recognized. I say that now, and I'm probably going to jinx it, but it does feel good. It feels good. And anything that can make me feel good, given my workload right now, is a positive in my book. As mentioned in my intro video, we have 2 Halloween countdowns this year. The first one being the Beetlejuice countdown from the Little Wolf Knits. Our first color today was called the Maitland House, and it is lovely. It actually kind of reminds me of Christmas a little bit. It's just very festive and lovely. We also, on day 1, got to open up our extras, which included this Beetlejuice themed progress keeper that I'm really excited about. It's very thematic, and there is a delicious smelling pumpkin spice candle that I picked out immediately, and you'll see this later and many times throughout Vlogtober that I just love it, as well as some Moroccan mint tea, which is always delicious. Can't complain. The second Halloween countdown that we're opening this year is the Gothic Whimsy countdown from Fangirl Fibers. And this one is really, I think it's going to be really fun. It's a DK weight, which is a little different for me, but we are going to be doing a crochet along with Kayla from Alt Knots. This box came with a ton of fun extras like these tiny little scissors, a few cute stickers. The fact that this one says Future Ghost had me kind of laughing at the sincerity and factualness of it, not gonna lie. And then we also got to adopt a ghost, which I think is the cutest thing ever. So my little buddy is called Lobby. He was born on December 6th, 1919, and he was a shoemaker. So who knew? I thought it was really adorable. We also got, and I forgot that I got any of these, I found them later, this package of adorable stitch markers, one of which is a strawberry moon with a bat from Charmed and Dangerous, who's one of my favorite charm makers. And then these other adorable Halloween themed charms. This moth with the pumpkin instead of a skull is fantastic, but I really, really, really also enjoy the moon faces. It would not be October 1st without some type of Hocus Pocus shenanigans. So I got my mystery sock set from 3 by the Sea Designs today. That is Hocus Pocus themed, and I am about to tear into the package right now. Right off the bat, this is looking super phenomenal. So it all comes packaged in this clear plastic, and I can see that there's going to be tea. But look at the colors. Okay, let's get an up close and personal view of this. So in our little goodie bag, we get this Twinings black tea, black currant breeze, which I've never had before, and it sounds really interesting. But this is the most important thing other than the yarn, of course, and this is the main reason that I wanted to get this box, is these needle stoppers. Look at them. They're fantastic. I don't know what I'm going to use them on, but they're going to get used on something. You saw the projects I'm planning to work on. I certainly have enough options that I will be attaching these to. And of course, here is the yarn called Hocus Pocus. It is the 2024 Mystery Sock Set on their sandable base, which is a fingering weight 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and the full skein is 100 grams and the mini skein is 20 grams, and it is gorgeous. I don't know, this might have thrown a wrench in some of my Halloween plans, y'all, because now I want to make this because it perfectly encompasses the movie and everything that I love about it. Hocus Pocus is one of those childhood favorites that I think about when I think about Halloween, like just the colors, the vibe of the movie, all of that stuff is what I think of when I think of Halloween, and these colors definitely remind me of Hocus Pocus. That might have been one of the first movies where I was like, oh, purple's a Halloween color. Who knew? Because I think I might have even mentioned this last year. I think purple is a more recent Halloween color, because if you look back at the 70s, even 80s, it was always oranges and blacks and maybe some greens, but purple is more recent, and this might have been the movie that solidified that. So anyway, I don't know, I'm talking out my butt now, but here's everything that we got in the mystery package, and I love literally every ounce of it. So because most of my weekdays are spent working, there's not a whole lot of exciting things to show you on that front, and I can't really share anything with you because I work at a tech company. We're in cybersecurity, so I mean, like, I would probably get fired if I did that, so we're not going to go there. But after a long and stressful day, you know, putting out fires all over the place, I was really excited to sit down with some pumpkin spice tea and one of my favorite candles, which is from Foxglove and Rue. It's called Secret Garden. Look it up, buy it. You won't be sad about it. It smells fantastic. And I wound up the first ball from the Whimsy Goth countdown that we're doing from Fangirl Fibers. And, you know, the first color being black, I would say I wasn't necessarily excited about it. You know, black yarn is black yarn. I think we all have feelings about it. But I was curious to see what we were going to whip up. So before the next thing that I had to do tonight, I decided let's just wind the yarn so that when I'm done, I can go forth and enjoy. As you are probably aware, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Nitty Natty had an interview with Barbara, the founder of Knitted Knockers, as part of her Love in Stitches membership to help kick off the month. And I don't look at schedules, so I had no idea this was coming, but I got an email about it and decided that I wanted to attend. And it was great. It was super informational. Now I want to knit all the knockers that I possibly can. So if you haven't heard of Knitted Knockers, then go to knittedknockers.org and download the pattern and see if there's anything you would be interested in helping with. So while I attended that interview, it was just over an hour, I knit on my worsted scarf, which is coming along very nicely. With any luck, I should have that wrapped up by the weekend or shortly after the weekend. It's blowing by, it's super fast. And it was just a relaxing way to kick off an evening. With that out of the way, don't get me wrong, it was enjoyable. It makes it sound like it wasn't, but it was. It was time to visit Altknot's Kayla's channel for her unboxing of the Whimsy Goth countdown, and also look at the patterns for the blanket that we're going to be crocheting along with her over the course of October. So it was really great to go over to her channel and see, you know, her take on the unboxing, her showing off the little goodies because, I don't know, there's something fun in joining in with people for an along here and there. I don't typically do it except for, you know, this time of year, maybe over the holidays, but it was exciting to finally kick this off. I've been looking forward to this all week, all day, all season, ever since I bought this thing when it went live in April. But the way that it works is right now there are two pieces of the pattern. There is a granny square base that we are going to be making every single day. And then there's going to be some type of applique. So for the first 10 days, we're making these cup of spirits, which are ghosts with like little handles. I forget like what they're actually called. There is a name for it. But anyway, so we're making 10 appliques and 10 granny squares over the next 10 days. And then once that's done, there will be another applique that we make along with the granny square over the next 10 days. And then we are going to be keeping our scraps because Kayla said we'll be using those to help finish off the blanket. And then optionally, if you got the additional the additional full skein, which I didn't, we'll be using that to create a border. I have regrets. I probably should have bought the stupid additional skein because now I have FOMO. But I do think that the final product looked really cute. It was nice to just spend, I don't know, 40 minutes, an hour making those two things while Trixie fell asleep on top of me and kept me warm because the evenings are finally getting chilly. The 2nd of October wasn't maybe the most eventful of days, but what Wednesdays actually are when you are working full-time. I'm sure a lot of other folks who are doing Vlogtober know that when you're working a full-time job, it just, you know, it's hard to find something interesting to talk about. But since we are knitting focused, I can say that the great news is I got some knitting done on my Halloween fairground socks that I'm making for Sockoween. I chose to do a Fish Lips Kiss heel on these. I go back and forth about which heel I like to use on my self-striping socks. I do tend to lean toward doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel because it's less intrusive to the self-striping pattern that's going on. But there are times where I do use a heel flap because some are less intrusive than others, I guess. But I don't know. I was just in the mood to do a Fish Lips Kiss heel today, and that's where we left off, and they are looking amazing. The first Halloween countdown that we opened today, as usual, is the Beetlejuice countdown from the Little Wolf Knits, and oh my goodness, I was so excited for this one called Vacation at Home. I just want to take a minute and say kudos to Brianna for entering her pink era. We have been waiting for this, or I specifically have been waiting for this. She tends to do more muted tones, and they are lovely, but I am a pink gal at heart, and she has been doing an amazing job venturing into the pinks of the world, and this color is fantastic. The next countdown that we opened is, of course, the Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers, and today's color was an amazing Halloween purple that I am entranced with. I can't think of another word, but I can't stop looking at it. It is so lovely in natural light that I can't wait to add it to the project. As promised earlier, I revisited my Little Wolf Knits pumpkin spice candle. It smells so amazing. Even after I blew it out, Scott thought that it was lit because it just made the whole hallway super fragrant. But I thought it would be a good idea to not only relax me at work, but also set the stage for my daily tarot draw. Today's card that I drew is the Two of Pentacles, which is all about balance and adaptability. So in the Rider-Waite deck, which is not this one, but in the Rider-Waite deck, it depicts someone juggling two coins, and that symbolizes the constant need to manage multiple aspects of life. So work, relationships, finances, and often all at once. This is the multitasking work-life balance card, to say the least. So at the end of the day, it reminds us that while life can be hectic, it's important to maintain flexibility and stay light on our feet so that we can handle the ups and downs with grace. It's a call to make sure that you are staying adaptable, embracing change, really just finding a sense of flow in the midst of it all. Because at the end of the day, it's not about juggling responsibilities, but doing so without losing your sense of playfulness. And if I were to take a look at how this relates to my life, I would say it's a good reminder to not feel so overwhelmed by everything on my to-do list. Because as you can imagine, with a relatively hectic job and moving into our new house and getting ready to go to a work conference at the beginning of November and just everything we need to get done for our Halloween party and all that good stuff, it is a good reminder that there are ways to deal with it. There are ways to cope with it, and there are ways to prioritize and not, be hard on yourself while you're going through it. After a long and arduous day, I thought it would be cool to walk over to our new house because it actually isn't that far from where we live now. So I took a little stroll over there and thought maybe I could give you a super brief tour of just some of the things that we're working on. It's definitely not going to be everything. The house is fairly large and I just ran out of energy to show it all. But some cool details is we just got this cat tower that is a massive cactus. One of my favorite rooms in the house is the entranceway where we're going to have all of these plants and plant themed items and the piano. But I'm personally in love with the living room. That fireplace was in the basement for some reason, so we brought it upstairs and we're gonna do something with it there. But I love the living room. I kind of have like an Art Deco meets Victorian vibe up there, which I really like. Our dining room now has one of my Oma's really large cabinets in it that we were able to get out of storage, which I'm super excited to have back. Like, the movers brought it in and I almost cried. And yeah, so up until now I've just kind of been going around and decorating what I can now that the bulk of our furniture is over there and getting ready for the party. Going in the basement. See all the work that Scott's been doing. So a week ago, that wall didn't exist. It just went right into storage, right?
I guess.
Storage-ish.
Storage.
Well, now it's the washing room, yeah.
We moved the sink, we put the wall up.
Oh yeah, the sink was there. It looks wildly different without.
Right?
Yeah. I haven't seen this yet.
Just pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
wall's painted, kind of.
No, the wall's painted.
This is the scene of our sewer crime.
No, that was back there.
Oh. Well, then what was that?
There's just a pipe there.
Oh. I thought they were digging there.
Nope, they didn't do anything there. That's what we thought. They didn't do.
I like this with the edge. Yeah.
Obviously, I have to finish painting it. I got tired. 6 hours was enough.
This floor is from a bowling alley, so we've been told.
And that's all fixed up. There was
like a.
There was a hole. There was a patch against the wall. There was a patch underneath the bar.
Well, what there used to be a built-in bar here or something.
Yeah.
And then so there were spaces where the floor wasn't. So as part of that project, y'all ripped up the wood and put it there.
Right. We took it out of the laundry room.
This is my Oma's furniture. No idea where it's going. This is our amazing new couch that is in pieces, apparently.
I had to move it out. I figured out how to make
the consoles have Bluetooth speakers in it, which we didn't know when we bought it.
I had an idea, but we didn't know it.
That wall wasn't there.
All the fresh drywall.
Yeah.
Like unpainted drywall is all new.
Yeah. So all of these walls are new. This area was just totally open before. It's going to be the doggy play area for when we leave the house. We can just put them in here. Keep them safe. And what, you're putting a closet over there?
Yep, closet's gonna get a door. We'll have a closet on those stairs.
Cool. What else? What other cool stuff? Oh, we're putting in a drop ceiling at some point.
Drop ceiling.
Is that going in before the party?
Probably not.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But I mean, Dad's away for a week. Like, tomorrow's his last day until
And then there's the work area. Did we decide what we're doing with those doors yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna put knobs on and they're gonna be doors.
Well, you had talked about reversing them or something.
Should be fine.
At one point.
The couch works. We're gonna push the couch back a little bit more. It's coming against the wall.
So this is gonna be our hangout spot. TV goes there. Get a curtain to block the sun. But yeah, we're gonna live in the earth.
We'll see.
Let's go check out the library. I don't know what I'm walking into. Built all these bookshelves. They're very full. This is my Oma's antique desk. And then here's the chairs we just finished building. This is cool. So we just got this to keep some drinks and some glassware in so we can hang out in the library. And then off to the side, there's a kitchenette. So when I work up here in my office, just go make coffee. Master bedroom over there. In my office. This is my storage unit, emptied and in the Lego room, or what will be the Lego room. Oh, I was just thinking about getting a full-length mirror. Apparently I had one. And this is the future home of many crafts and the glitter wall that will never end. Then of course you have the bathroom, and then this is going to be my workout room someday. And then we're back in the dining room. So that's not everything, but it's enough because I'm tired. So yes, it is only day 2, but I wanted to take a moment and celebrate the fact that I have indeed kept up with making both the granny square base and the applique for my Fangirl Fibers blanket, designed by Kayla from AltKnot. So this turned out really pretty, and I'm still enjoying working with this yarn a lot. Now that I am working on my Sockoween socks every morning and taking some time after my work day to crochet my granny square and my applique, I have been spending the rest of the night working on my Worst Witch scarf. So here's where we are with that today. I'm really happy with the progress, really happy with the colors. I don't necessarily think that photos and videos do it justice, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But as we get more into the more autumnal colors toward the end, it is really starting to pop and look very fall-like. At this point, we have reached the end of day 2, which means that it's practically bedtime, but I needed to share this video of Dexter enjoying the fact that we are moving, and now there is space for him in our record shelves. He is really cute, but with that, it is time for bed and reading. What day is it?
It's October 3rd.
And if you know the reference, then you know that today we are celebrating Mean Girls Day. Unfortunately, I did not get an opportunity to put on Mean Girls and, enjoy the movie like I normally would, but I did get more done on my fairground socks earlier on in the morning. So these are nearly done. I finally made my way to the toe. So I have 12 stripes on the leg and 12 stripes on the foot, and a fish lips kiss heel, and now I'm working on the toe as we speak. Here I am making my way there. I don't know. There's something about these fairground socks that just make them fly off the needles. It is a very solidly addicting sock pattern. So if you haven't checked it out, I am once again asking you to go download this pattern and see for yourself why I can't stop making these and why it is the go-to pattern for all of my self-striping socks. Today's Beetlejuice countdown from the Little Wolf Knits was another phenomenal color. I'm not going to ruin this for you, but just know I was excited. And there it is. So now you see why I was so excited. Just these colors are fantastic. It's like these pinky, blue, teals, and just very bright and happy and fun. Today's Whimsy Goth countdown, as you will shortly see, was relatively plain. So not super exciting, but I will say that it looked really cute with the ghost applique, which you'll see later, and I still enjoyed it. Today's tarot card draw is the Knight of Swords, which embodies a powerful force of action, ambition, and determination. So again, on the Rider-Waite deck, which this is not, you would typically see a knight who is charging forward with their sword raised, which represents a rush of energy and a fierce commitment to pursuing one's goals. So really what this card would signify is that now is the time to take swift action. Do not hesitate. It's literally not in the cards. So you may be feeling motivated to tackle challenges head on, or perhaps there's a situation that requires direct communication and bravery. But the Knight of Swords also serves as a reminder to stay mindful. So while ambition is essential, it's still important to consider all perspectives before acting. Make sure to balance your drive with thoughtfulness, and you'll be able to channel this bold energy effectively. And I can definitely see this playing a role in my life right now. There is a situation at work where I just have to go through it to get out. You know, I am a people manager, among other things, and part of that requires you to handle some difficult situations. You know, I go back and forth with whether or not I enjoy winding minis, and I think one of the reasons I get tired of countdown or advent projects is because it's kind of obnoxious to wind all these minis. However, the Whimsy Goth countdown is DK weight, so it goes a lot faster than fingering weight, of course, but it's also a good use of time to meditate. So after work today, I grabbed the latest hank of yarn and just went to town winding it and trying to think through what exactly happened today. It was a lot of information to take in, and it seems like every day this week, every time I tried to log off, someone would tell me that they were trying to do something that, for lack of a better term, was not intelligent. So I used this time to regroup and process. Scott needed to head over to the new house to pick up some packages that we've been getting delivered over there, like a lot of Amazon stuff that we're ordering for the new house and decorations and things like that. He's been going over every day just to make sure that, you know, they don't get stolen. So I used that alone time to relax and turn on Memily Makes VLOGTOBER. So I actually started watching her last year. If you watched my VLOGTOBER or a Vlogmas, you'll know that I enjoy watching her because it sounds like she also has a waggy job that keeps her busy, and I just really liked her content and the things that she's making. So if you're looking for a new VLOGTOBER, then she would be one to check out. But I was just jonesing to crochet a simple granny square, and this was a great way to bide my time for a little bit until Scott came home and we could enjoy the rest of the night together. And here is how my little ghost and granny square turned out using the white yarn. So even though not an exciting color to open necessarily, I think they look great, especially on this crochet blanket background. I just get autumn vibes off of this. At this point, Scott came home. He started playing, I think he was playing Fortnite or Apex or both. Those are his two favorite games. If anyone wants to be friends with him on PlayStation, I can share that information with you and y'all can play together. But yeah, so after he came home, we just snuggled up for the night with the animals, and I once again started working on my Worst Witch scarf. I am almost done now with the 6th color, which means hopefully I can get into the 7th color really quickly and have this thing done by the weekend, which would be a great festively spooky finish to have for the Halloween season. You tell the people you never get any attention. Yeah, no one loves you, no one pets you, and no one feeds you. Yeah, this is a cry for help. A Vlogtober cry for help from Trixie. Yeah. Oh, see? No respect. Oh, brother, it is Friday, and I have never TGIF'd so hard in my life. It is a good thing that I have these yarn countdowns to look forward to at the beginning of each day, or else I don't know how I would make it through the week. Today's Beetlejuice countdown yarn was super autumnal, super gorgeous. Just looking at this makes me think of fall, and I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately with these yarns, but it truly, truly does, and it makes me get into the spirit of the season. Today's Whimsy Goth yarn was also just phenomenal. It was this gorgeous tealy green color, if you will. I feel like the color teal applies to multiple colors because none of us knows what it actually means, but I guess I would say this goes maybe a little bit more on the green side, and it is gorgeous. My tarot card pool today is the 10 of Swords, which this is an amazing representation for the Stitcher's Tarot because it's typically represented by a figure lying on the ground pierced by 10 swords. And here we have a pincushion. So very, very fantastic artistic interpretation of this. But as far as the card itself, it is a powerful symbol of endings. Typically, you'd consider it a little dramatic, maybe, but it represents something we all face, which are moments when we feel utterly defeated or overwhelmed. And boy, do I. It reminds us that, yes, some chapters must close, and sometimes the endings are abrupt and painful. But remember, the darkest part of the night is just before dawn. So although, this card might speak to finality, it also hints at the promise of a new beginning. So let the past fall away, and it's time to rise again. And I've also heard of this card discussed as the I feel like I've been stabbed in the back card, and I, in a work capacity, can feel that right now for reasons that I won't get into. Nobody's actually stabbed me in the back, so that's not necessarily true. But I can definitely identify with the feeling of how that feels and how we need to do a reset on certain things and look forward to a new beginning. All right, the first sock for Sockoween is done. These are, of course, the Fairground Socks by Kay from the Bakery Bears, and they are in the Freckled Whimsy September 2024 Halloween Sock Club color, which is, whatever it's called. It's like Ghoulish Giggles or something like that. So it's really cute. I love the way that it turned out. I really like these colors. Scott said he likes them too because they're Halloween-y without necessarily screaming at Halloween. So I don't know. We both enjoy them. So I finished up kitchenering the toe before work this morning and cast on the cuff for the next pair, and we will see where that takes us. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with these socks because I have really enjoyed knitting on them, but for whatever reason, I cannot get past this cuff. It has been an entire day And I know I've had other projects to work on, so I've been doing those, but you'd think that I could do 15 rounds of 2x2 rib on a cuff relatively quickly. And yet here we are, and I have nothing to show for it. And I want to get these done before a Hocus Pocus themed event that I'm going to tomorrow so that I can work on them there. But here we are, like I said, with very little to show for it, but that's still my goal. As has become my new after work tradition, I plopped a dog on the couch by me. Here we have Fritzy, and wound my whimsy goth yarns that I could make the granny square and applique. You guys haven't seen Fritzy in a while. He is now 14 and a half years old, and you know, he's not doing great. He has a lot of trouble walking. He barely has teeth, and he's a hunchback. So he does have senior socks. And you know, we try to keep him happy. But he's not young and spry anymore. We'll put it that way. So I have to carry him around. We have to carry him around, and I plopped him on the couch with me until, you know, Trixie came and kicked him out of his spot while I was crocheting. But in general, I thought it would be nice to provide an update on the dogs and how they are. Fritzy is just, he's getting up there, but he's still my little buddy and enjoys hanging out with me every night while I craft or during the day while I'm working at my desk. And he's just old. Perhaps the worst part of my day is that I woke up with a sore throat that just kept getting worse and worse throughout the day. So in preparation for the fact that it might not be allergies, Scott stopped on his way home from work and got me all the meds, and they do seem to be working. I'm pretty sure it was just allergies, but this sore throat Chloroseptic is a game changer / lifesaver, and every time my throat hurts, I just use it now. Before calling it a night, I decided to tune in to Altnaught's newest podcast where she talks about horror movies while she crochets. So that is my jam. I also was able to move on to the last color number 7 of my Worst Witch shawl. So I started knitting that in, and it's looking amazing. I'm going to run out of yarn. I will say that right now. I am going to run out of yarn, and so I'm going to have to substitute colors from the other minis. And at this point, that's fine. I will survive, but it looks beautiful, so I'm generally happy. October 5th, where we discovered that my super cheap Halloween countdown had 2 9s, but no 6. But it's fine. Your girl can improvise, and we made it work, I suppose. The day kicked off. It was a Saturday, so it kicked off in a relaxing way. I made my usual cup of coffee, and as I do every other week when Scott is working, there also just so happens to be a Bakery Bears episode to coincide with that. So I always get to have a relaxing Saturday morning every other weekend where it's just me, my caffeine, some knitting and relaxing time in the early morning with the Bakery Bears, which is always a nice way to kick off the weekend and ease into what is typically my downtime. But today was going to be a busy day because I did have to get ready for Hocus Pocus trivia with my sister-in-law, her boyfriend, and some of their friends. Once I was fully caffeinated, I had the energy to tackle my Halloween countdown. So as always, we started off with Beetlejuice, and today's color is called I Don't Think We Survived, and it is pretty. I don't know how else to describe it. This is more of what I would say is Brianna's typical color palette, and it is kind of relaxing and almost beachy to look at. And if you look at her inspiration photo, it is very reminiscent. And then, of course, we can't forget the Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers. Today's color was, I don't know, typically Halloween spooky. I think this, in combination with all the other colors that we've been opening, really lends itself well to the Halloween countdown theme. So this is more of maybe a pumpkin or a pumpkin spice, was how I described it to Scott when he asked me what color we got today. And I don't know, it's pretty. Today's tarot card pull is the 10 of Cups, which is a very positive card. It typically represents, or is called, the happy family card. So it is a representation of harmony, fulfillment, emotional abundance, things like that. In the Rider-Waite deck, it is often represented by a family standing beneath a rainbow of cups. And it celebrates the joy of togetherness. So in this case, it's about true contentment and sharing love with those around you. So how can you apply this energy to your life today? You could start by recognizing just the simple, meaningful connections you already have. And I feel like this applied to my day personally, because I'm going to hang out with my sister-in-law and her friends, and we're going to have a good time going to trivia and just having a great day together. You know, I see them fairly often, but maybe not as often as I should, because life gets busy. So it's just a really nice, this is a really nice card to think about the day ahead, to be honest. I'm really happy with this draw. I do think it's applicable for my day. And it's encouraging me really to just nurture the relationships that bring me joy, and create an atmosphere of warmth and understanding. So if you get this card, then use it to make sure that you focus on what brings you and those around you genuine happiness. All right, so I'm getting ready for my Mary Sanderson. Well, I'm getting ready for Hocus Pocus trivia, and I'm in my Mary Sanderson costume. I have to figure out how this works, because you know me in wigs. If you watched Vlogtober last year, you know they give me headaches. So I don't know how it's gonna go down. Anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. Hopefully we'll get a picture of it, of everybody dressed up. We have a Winifred, we have a Sarah, and I'm Mary. We have a Binks, and I think there's one more person going I think someone's gonna be the main guy. I forget what his name is now. So trivia is gonna go well. Anyway, yeah, it's all right, but I wanted to take a minute to vent about Halloween costumes in general and how you can tell something was created by a man. Look where this double thing on the front ends. So basically I got ready and realized you could see through the shirt, and you still can. I had to put on a tank top underneath, but like this double thing only comes down to here. And I think it's just to reinforce like the cutout. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, can a woman design a Halloween costume, please? Like, I'm begging you. Oh boy. Well, here it is. I can't guarantee this is gonna stay on very long because it is very warm. It is supposed to be like mid-70s today, even though it's allegedly October and we're supposed to be in the 60s. But here we are. We don't do chilly October mornings in Pennsylvania anymore because, you know, the earth is dying. But outside of that, not my colors, not my vibe, and the wig's probably not gonna last very long. But come join me for the ride to Hocus Pocus Town. Honestly, the rest of the afternoon was a blur. So trivia was held at a winery that was, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes away. And I had been here before years ago and really loved it. It's in the middle of the mountains. So if you sit on the side deck, you have an overview of the lake and the mountains and stuff, and it's really pretty. The trivia was held inside, so it was still a nice environment, but you know, not the same as being outside. And I bought a bottle of wine for myself. Everyone was doing tasters, and I just wanted my dry red, so I just got a bottle of wine for me, and we played trivia. It was it was a lot of fun. I got some knitting in, and we even came in second place. You would think that given the fact we had amazing costumes and they were the only ones dressed up, they would have thrown some bonus points our way, but you know, alas, I suppose. But we did come in second place, which was really cool. And I don't know what else to say about it other than it was a lot of fun. There were a lot of Hocus Pocus 2 questions in there, which we struggled with. Even though, you know, we've seen the movie and we liked the movie, it's not our favorite and we haven't seen it 400,000 times, but it was still a really nice afternoon. So I'm going to leave you with some pictures of that. The rest of the day was honestly kind of a wash. I came home, I ordered some drunken noodles from a pad thai place that we really enjoy, and Ziggy and I took a nap. We turned on Memily Makes latest Vlogtober episode and we took a nap. I woke up for maybe another hour or two after Scott got home from work and crocheted my daily square, and that was it, and I went right back to bed. I am so exhausted between work and the new house that it was definitely much needed, but here we are, and that is 1 week of Vlogtober down. I will see you in the next one.